Welcome into Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily. My name is Adam.
And my name is Tim.
I want to welcome you guys into the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is a big show, Tim.
Big show. I'm excited, man.
I'm beyond excited for it. I'm here for it. I know you are, and we're just pumped for it. We're going to quickly jump on here and take a quick break after, and then from there we got a big surprise for you guys. Tell them what's coming up.
Oh man, we've got a guy. If you was going to say non-basketball player or football player from UK, anyone else that we could have as a guest, I don't think it gets much bigger than Nicholas Jamerson from the group Sundy Best. We're both big fans, Adam, and man, I'm so excited, man.
Yeah, me too. Guys, if you would share this, tell your mom and them this is a big show. We are at the Laurel County History and Genealogy Center here, getting prepared. There's a big show here tonight.
It's almost sold out, and if you get here before 7, you might be able to get in. It's only $15.
It's $15. I mean, you can't.
Dude, it's the deal of the year.
You can't beat it, and of course, you're going to get to see an amazing songwriter in Nicholas Jamerson.
Nicholas Jamerson is one of those guys that makes Kentucky proud, man. Him and Chris with Sundy Best, they're two of those guys, man. There's a lot of talent in Kentucky when it comes to musicians, and they are at the top of the list.
So we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we got Nick Jamerson coming your way. My name is Adam.
My name's Tim.
And we are Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily. We'll be right back.
If you've been injured in an accident through no fault of your own, you have options. Don't let insurance companies tell you what your case is worth. Call me, Jeremy Bryant, at 606-261-7381. At Bryant Law, we want you to get the highest possible recovery for your injuries. We can help you with your car wreck, slip and fall, or workers' compensation case. No one should have to withstand the pain, suffering, and inconvenience of a debilitating injury without just compensation. Bryant Law, experience you can trust. Come see Kentucky Creative Bistro and Gallery at South Park Center in Corbin. We are an art gallery and bistro serving a variety of sandwiches, cakes, and coffees. We cater to offices, large groups, and deliver to the local area. If you dine in, you'll experience the vast talent that Kentucky has to offer. Our selections for sale include paintings, photography, and crafts. If you are a Kentucky artist wanting to get your work out to the world, contact us today. We are also now seeking writers for our new endeavor, Kentucky Creative Press.
We, the people, are guaranteed 5 freedoms in the First Amendment.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of religion.
Freedom of the press.
Freedom to peaceably assemble.
Freedom to petition the government.
Only the United States has these 5 freedoms so simply bound together and guaranteed. Think first. Learn more at thinkfirstamendment.org.
Kentucky's new 5-star school rating system provides parents with an easy way to find out how their children's schools are performing. Star ratings are based on test scores for reading, math, social studies, science, and writing. They are also based on students' academic growth over 1 year. For high schools, ratings are also based on how well students are prepared for college and careers after graduation and the number of students who graduate on time. Visit kyschoolreportcard.com for the latest information on schools in your community.
The deadly tornadoes that ripped through western and south central Kentucky destroyed homes, devastated communities, and unfortunately claimed the lives of our fellow Kentuckians. Radio and television stations across the Commonwealth have united as one voice in order to help. Please consider supporting the Team Western Kentucky Relief Fund today. Simply go to kba.org and click the Donate Now button. This message of hope is brought to you by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 110,000 participants here in Kentucky who take part in high school sports.
Welcome back into Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily, and Tim, we got a really special guest with us.
Yes, we do, man. Nicholas Jamerson. Man, it's an honor to have you on the show. like I said before you came on, you're one of those guys. Me and Adam both look up to you musically, man. You're a Kentucky boy. You're a Kentucky fan. Grandfather played at UK, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So just tell us about being a Kentucky guy.
Yeah, growing up, like you said, my grandfather played at Kentucky. He was there late 40s, early 50s when Bear Bryant was there, and I got to go to the Orange Bowl. Scored both touchdowns in the Sugar Bowl to beat Oklahoma. They've been like a 30-game winning streak, and so I just was kind of born into that culture, you know. And growing up in Eastern Kentucky, huge Kentucky sports fans, and I remember my mom in the '92 game with Duke, and I was 6, you know. I was still just kind of coming to in the world, but I just remember her jumping up and down, and like she laid in bed the whole next day after that game. And, you know, I've been around the whole country, and there really is no place like Kentucky and the culture that I feel like we have, and in sports and in music, and it makes it easy to have stuff to write about just because our people, I think, are so unique. And so, yeah, most culture I feel like is watered down anymore, and there's still a lot of really unique, and I mean, really with the music scene, how it's exploded over the last couple of years, it's new, you know. There's not a lot of things new out there, I feel like, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Kentucky artists are taking over right now for sure.
And speaking of your grandfather, I have to ask, the recording at the beginning of Hyman, is that him?
That's another grandfather.
That's your other grandfather,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my grandfather that played at Kentucky, he passed away in '94. So
okay.
But that was Hyman. That's my mom's parents.
That is one of the most touching things I've heard on any song ever, and every time I hear that, it just hits so much differently.
Yeah, I mean, he was sick I was out on the road, and he was sick, and that was a message he sent me while I was out on the road, and it's hard being away from family, and so I was glad that I had the thought to capture that. And
that's amazing.
With that song. So
yeah, you know, we've talked about, and I tell, you know, Tim and I we argue about what our favorite song is.
Even coming in the door.
One of my favorites, of course, is Smoking Gun. I think yours is Thunder.
Well, mine's Painted Blue, but they're all so close. You know, Painted Blue, Thunder, they're all 4-door. They're all good. I mean, but yeah, I like Painted Blue, and he's like Smoking Gun.
Yeah.
That's one of my personal favorites too.
I mean, I figured it would be.
You had to go and tell him that.
I figured it would be.
We're always arguing. You had to go tell him that.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense.
That's
I mean,
a beautiful song. It really is.
It's just a well-written song.
Thank you. It's a pretty funny story. What inspired that? I had moved to Lexington in 2010, and you know, growing up in Eastern Kentucky, Lexington is a big city, and going out. And,
yeah, right.
Got kicked out of 3 different bars in a week. And I was it was a moment where I was like, I need to kind of get myself together. But, you know, you also can't dwell on it too much. It's just kind of, sometimes it just is what it is.
Well, the verdict's out on this here town, right?
Right, yeah, that's exactly.
Well, there you go.
That's yeah. I feel like people had judged me. They had sentenced me and judged me, and that song was me like coming to terms with my hillbilly ness.
Well, that's all great and everything, but Painted Blue, let's talk about that for a second. When that song first hits, When Your Name Rolls Off My Tongue, are you kidding me? That's so, like, if you've ever been in a relationship and been hurt and had your heart broke, soon as the lyrics hit, you're like, okay. Sweetest sound I've ever heard.
That's why I don't like it as much. I mean, I like it, but, you know.
It's heartbreaking,
It's a sad song.
I mean, it'll take you a place in a hurry, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you this is the truth. Like, went through a divorce a couple years ago, been going through it, driving down the road, always been a big fan of Sundy Best and all your stuff. Just didn't really, Painted Blue had never stuck out to me. I just liked it. Driving down the road, listening to it, had to pull over. It was that emotional. I was like, wow, this song is so deep, man. It really pulls at your heartstrings. It does.
And I love connection to Kentucky. You know, you've got that in just a ton of your music. And I think for me, you know, I think that's a lot of. I mean, I've lived it. You know, I've lived that life. I've been there. I've done that. What does it mean? Of course, asking you this, you know, with all the things that happened in Eastern Kentucky a couple of months ago. You know, having a song like Hindman that, you know, really rings true. That place was very devastated with flood.
I think with these songs and all the Kentucky references, I believe in preserving history, you know, and preserving experiences. And you can't always, I mean, life changes and you can't hang on to hardly anything, but these songs give memories, and it gives it's forever, you know. And I think during hard times it's important to remember the good times too, you know. So yeah, I just feel like people talk so much that the general narrative of our area is it's been negative, you know. Growing up, it was negative, and I've just wanted. I have a lot of pride, like I said, in where I'm from and what I've been through and the experiences I've had, and I felt like in inserting those references, it was just going to create more pride for anyone that had similar experiences, you know. So it's cool. I'm thankful that people have accepted that style of writing, and even outside of Kentucky, that's been the coolest thing, is to have songs like Hindman or Lexington more recently, and people from that have never experienced anything in those places to then have a connection to it. And, you know, with the flooding and stuff like that, I feel like there was a lot of people that had more empathy for that area because they felt a connection through that song. So I'm just, you know, I'm just kind of making it up as I go along with these songs and what I think is going to work. So I've just been really fortunate and blessed that people have accepted me, and it's continuing to grow. And like I said, I think it's good for our area and our region, and just our people, just to have that pride
and things like that. You know, that you have to. You know, I think a lot of it, you have to live it. You know, live it to write it. You know, and that's big. So, Lexington, of course, this song I noticed when I played it opens up. Stevie Got Loose. He was at that game
with my son.
Yeah. That's awesome, right? So tell us a little bit about Lex. Brand new song.
And we've had Stevie Johnson on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have.
And Andre Woodson.
So.
Yeah, I was in Pikeville at the time when that game happened. I was playing football it was Pikeville College then, but
wide receiver,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and I had a chance to walk on at Kentucky, and I was just young and dumb. And
so what you're saying is you wish you'd walked on at Kentucky?
I don't know. You know, like, I think it's worked out pretty good. You know?
I mean, yeah, that's true. You know, at the end of the day.
You know, NAIA football is it's less demanding than D1, and I'm sore and hurting enough from the football I played. You know, at D1, that's just a whole different level, and so, but Lexington, yeah, I moved down there in 2010, and like I said, I grew up going to games there, and then living there, I think it just gave me a deeper appreciation for that culture. In 2012, I was in Lexington when we won the national title, and if you've never been in Lexington when they win a national title, it's crazy.
Oh. So I got a question, comes from somebody you know.
Okay.
I saw him on Monday.
Okay.
And Justin Wells.
Okay.
He said, "You're interviewing Nick?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "I got a question for him." I was like, "All right." You know, he's smiling as big as he's a huge dude.
Yeah,
man.
he's a giant.
Yeah. And he goes, tell him I want to know why he wrote a song called Lexington when he don't live there anymore.
Well, it's it's one of those things where I did, and I loved it, and it was just a love letter for Lexington. And like I said before, you know, when you live in Eastern Kentucky, I feel like Lexington was like, oh, that's going to the big city. You're going to like level up.
Yes,
and
that's as big as it gets for some people.
Yeah,
in Kentucky.
I mean, for me, that's why I moved there, was to play music and just to have more opportunity. And it's obviously not the biggest place in the world, but big memories and big love for that place. And like I said, I felt like, you know, especially this time of year, you know, it's such a, I need it. I need, like, you get through the dog days of summer, and then you get to fall, and the leaves are changing, and football gives you something to kind of, it's a break in the monotony of baseball.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, it's so slow.
It's just slow.
But yeah, this song, Lexington, we're going to have to like adopt this as Wildcat Sports Talk song, or maybe you can even write a Wildcat Sports Talk jingle for us. That'd be great.
Maybe.
You know,
I've never done that, but
hey, why not? We'll play it.
We'll open the show
with it for sure.
But go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. This is you're going to play Lexington for us, right? This is Lexington.
Just came out.
Yeah,
just came out
last Friday.
It's streaming everywhere.
Yeah.
Streaming all over the place.
Let's get it at Rupp Arena and Kroger Field and anywhere else.
I got you. Yep.
She put on a dress and went out to the race. The fake alligator purse she wanted to replace. Cheap pint of vodka with nothing to chase, but an inn with a friend that had a staying face. Watching the Wildcats play and the horses run. We meet at Henry Clay. They don't have 2 for 1s. We hung around that place for so long, hoping Greg would play us one more song. And we fell in love in Lexington. He wore a jean jacket, his newest collared shirt, a big blue hat he'd throw down in the dirt. Trying to mind his F's and U's, not act like a jerk, but he always did, that's how he is, 'cause mine had never worked. Watching the Wildcats play and the horses run. We meet at Henry Clay's. They don't have 2 for 1s. We hung around that place for so long, hoping Gray would play us one more song. And we fell in love in Lexington. In a sea of drunkards, she finds his hand again, promising to take him to a place he's never been. They bonded over bourbon they had gotten from the well. Love was up for grabs as they paid their tabs. Ain't grubbies matter in hell. Watching the Wildcats play and the horses run every Thursday. Redman's 2 for 1s. We hung around that place for so long. Come on, Larry, play us one more song. We fell in love in Lexington. Yeah, we fell in love in Lexington. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Good
yes,
stuff.
Very good, brother.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Beautiful.
We like it's one of the things that I think is a massive quality for a lot of people is the fact that you can sound just as good on a recording as you can in person, and you can do that. So there's a lot of people that don't, but you do.
What I took away from it was I've been around a lot of musicians lately. I've been trying to play, Adam plays. I've been around, and it just you make it look so effortless, man. I mean, gosh, it looks so natural. It's just
a lot of practice.
Yeah,
that's. I feel like since 2020, it's like I used to gig so much that it was just like I didn't really practice much because I was gigging all the time, and now it's like I've got a kid now, and it's hard to go from dad and to gigging, so it's just got to practice. I really feel like I've taken my football attitude towards it, and because it was always just separate, and like I said, it was never. I didn't really have to grind so much with my craft because I was grinding out on the road. So I appreciate you saying that.
You're very welcome, man. I got to tell you, I met Chris, your Sunday Best partner, Chris Bentley, a couple years ago. Super nice guy. I mean, he was just so friendly and down there, just like you are, just really good Kentucky people, And I noticed that you've been out touring Sunday Best with Muscadine Bloodline. Yeah. I mean, that's got to be pretty exciting.
It is. They're on a big tour bus and playing 500 to 1,000 rooms everywhere, and just to be with a group that's on that level, it's just a different way of riding in the van by yourself, like I am this weekend.
Oh wow! And they're going to record one of your songs.
I hope so. Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that premature? I've heard it through the grapevine.
Well, I was like, where'd you hear that? Because were you on the bus with us? No, I mean, we talked about it when we were out with them. No, that's great. We were putting it out there.
Yeah.
When we were out with them, I sang it with them, full band, and they used to cover that in their sets when they were first starting out. We were in South Carolina at a House of Blues at Myrtle Beach, and they were like, yeah, we were here 6 years ago, and they opened up for somebody, and the first song they played was Thunder on that stage, and then their first headlining show back in South Carolina was with us, and that's a great group, and anytime you get love and respect from people like that, it just always feels good. It feels like the work you've done is.
Well, part of the reason, I mean, that's like, that's a song. I mean, I play that song all the time, and we love it. So,
I hope they cut it. Get some mailbox money coming in.
Yeah. There you go. It's a beautiful song, man. It just is. I mean, it's one of those. It's like, okay, I've had that love before. I know what that's like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and a lot of those songs were written in Lexington, and just kind of full circle. It was such a I don't know the word, but it was a good time in my life, and I'm just glad people are still listening. It's still pretty crazy.
Well, listen, we're looking forward to seeing you play tonight. We're excited about that, guys. If you want to get down here, I'm sure they're very little. They're very little.
Little seats left.
You can come on down and get here
at the
Laurel County History and Genealogy Center. Nicholas Jamerson, thank you so much for joining us here on the show.
Thank you, brother.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we got a whole lot more. We got to talk the cat stuff too. That's all on the way right here on Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily.
If you've been injured in an accident through no fault of your own, you have options. Don't let insurance companies tell you what your case is worth. Call me, Jeremy Bryant, at 606-261-7381. At Bryant Law, we want you to get the highest possible recovery for your injuries. We can help you with your car wreck, slip and fall, or workers' compensation case. No one should have to withstand the pain, suffering, and inconvenience of a debilitating injury without just compensation. Bryant Law, experience you can trust. Come see Kentucky Creative Bistro and Gallery at South Park Center in Corbin. We are an art gallery and bistro serving a variety of sandwiches, cakes, and coffees. We cater to offices, large groups, and deliver to the local area. If you dine in, you'll experience the vast talent that Kentucky has to offer. Our selections for sale include paintings, photography, and crafts. If you are a Kentucky artist wanting to get your work out to the world, contact us today. We are also now seeking writers for our new endeavor, Kentucky Creative Press.
We, the people, are guaranteed 5 freedoms in the First Amendment.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of religion.
Freedom of the press.
Freedom to peaceably assemble.
Freedom to petition the government.
Only the United States has these 5 freedoms so simply bound together and guaranteed. Think first. Learn more at thinkfirstamendment.org.
Kentucky's new 5-star school rating system provides parents with an easy way to find out how their children's schools are performing. Star ratings are based on test scores for reading, math, social studies, science, and writing. They are also based on students' academic growth over 1 year. For high schools, ratings are also based on how well students are prepared for college and careers after graduation and the number of students who graduate on time. Visit kyschoolreportcard.com for the latest information on schools in your community.
The deadly tornadoes that ripped through western and south central Kentucky destroyed homes, devastated communities, and unfortunately claimed the lives of our fellow Kentuckians. Radio and television stations across the Commonwealth have united as one voice in order to help. Please consider supporting the Team Western Kentucky Relief Fund today. Simply go to kba.org and click the Donate Now button. This message of hope is brought to you by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 110,000 participants here in Kentucky who take part in high school sports.
Welcome back into Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily. Thanks again, Nick, for joining us here on the show. And Tim, how cool was that, man?
Well, man, I've had several cool.
usual.
You had me turned off.
Always.
Man, I'll tell you what. I'm just okay because I needed to say. But we've had some really, really cool moments on Wildcat Sports Talk where we've had some really cool guests, and man, that right there is at the top of the list. I mean, it don't get much better than that. I'm going to tell you guys, I don't know if you guys know this or not. If you're watching this live or if you go back and watch it later, when I listen to music, I listen to Sundy Best. I listen to Jamerson, Nicholas Jamerson, man. It was just such a great Adam when it comes to songwriting for me. You know, I'm partial to the Kentucky guys. You got Chris Knight, which is a great songwriter. You got Nicholas Jamerson. Man, he's a genius when it comes to songwriting. And I don't know, man. It was just awesome. It was a great interview. Great song, Lexington.
Lexington's a great song. And, I mean, you know what? I've obviously I don't want to fanboy, but I got to tell you, having him right here and hearing him sing and having his voice come over my earphones,
unbelievable.
That was pretty cool.
Unbelievable, man.
That was pretty cool. You know, he's got a ton of great songs, and yeah, so awesome.
Yep, maybe we can talk him into writing that Wildcat Sports Talk.
Yeah, for sure. Ramon, how we doing, man?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Hey, you know, we're living the dream over here.
I can understand that. I want to be like y'all when I grow up.
Well, you know, it comes around full circle, doesn't it? Now, suddenly he wants to be like us. We wanted to be like him.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to be the UK basketball player at Rupp Arena, and now he wants to be like us. So,
yeah, man.
I still think he had a better life.
I was gonna say,
I'm just saying, you know,
yeah.
like.
I wouldn't trade my life for anything, you know, because I always wanted to be a UK basketball player, but I'm thankful for everything that I've got. You know, all the opportunities I've got, my kids, and meeting UK basketball players like Ramon, becoming friends with him, meeting Nicholas Jamerson, meeting my heroes, and doing it and giving them a platform. And I don't know, man, God is good, Ramon, and I'm pretty happy with who I am, brother.
Hey, man, I couldn't have said it any better, man. it's crazy because y'all look at like, oh, you did this, you did that. But in my head, sometimes, and it's a habit that I got to change, I think about the things I still want to do. And sometimes you just got to stop and appreciate yourself. You got to look back and see where you came from and see how far you come from that. Because there's a lot of life, man. It's crazy, man. There's been a lot going on, man. I've lost some people that here in the last week or so, just people that I used to talk to and used to support me. Not used to, but just people I would know. And people are passing away early and often, man. So sometimes you gotta take that moment and just appreciate yourself, man, because in a moment it can be taken away. So I definitely feel what you just said.
Yep. So let's get to some sports talk because that's what we are. We're Wildcat Sports Talk. Let's shift gears to that just a little bit. It's a bye week. Kentucky's playing. And by the way, I got to mention this one more time. We are at the Laurel County History and Genealogy Center. And folks, if you've not been here in London, Kentucky, you're missing out. It's really cool. A lot of rich history here. I'm looking around here, and it's just really, really neat.
It really is cool. All these uniformed soldiers waving at us right there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
this guy over here.
He's waving.
Yeah,
What's up,
waving.
man? How you doing? We're here, so make sure you check it out. All right, now
bye week.
Bye week.
Yeah.
Man, it is. I think we can beat Tennessee.
Things are going to have to go right.
People are crazy people think I'm crazy when I say that. But here's the thing. We held them pretty close last year. Their offense is better. But I think our defense is 20 times better.
Mm-hmm. Well,
minus that South Carolina.
I look at it like this: Alabama is not the right team to beat Tennessee because Alabama comes out and has got that explosive offense, and who's going to outscore who? I think we're the antidote to beat Tennessee because we're going to make the game ugly. We're going to keep the ball. We're going to go 2-3 yards in a cloud of dust
and put another minute on that clock, and Alabama wins.
Yeah,
I mean that's just the way it is. It was whoever was going to score last.
But see, Alabama though, even though they were scoring touchdowns, they were keeping Tennessee in their rhythm the whole game. We're not going to let them get in a rhythm. I hope we're going to make that ugly. We're going to slow the game down.
So for you Tennessee fans out there that like to watch all that, you're going to hate your life on next Saturday. You're going to hate it because we're not going to put up with it.
No.
I mean, we're not going to let that happen.
No.
I mean, that's just no. I mean, and you know what? The thing about Tennessee is they low down, they dirty, and they some snitches.
Yep.
So we don't go with that. So.
Oh my gosh.
So
Ramon, I forgot I was on the show for a second just listening to y'all, man.
So Ramon, I asked you on the phone if you had to pick a team that was like your most hated, right? That you just like you see the name and you're like, I'm good. Like I'm not rooting for them.
Yeah,
now initially you said Mississippi State because they threw stuff at you.
I said Mississippi State because they was throwing Gatorade bottles at us, and they were like half full too. Like there was some weight to them Gatorade bottles.
Okay, so they hurt.
And I remember I was on the court and one flew right past my head, and I remember that like. But other than that, man, it's two games. The Tennessee and the Louisville games, man, is just different.
All right. So, Tim, I'm going to ask you this question first. All right. Tim, most hated team ever of all time. Tennessee. You're staying with that.
For me, yeah.
Sticking with that.
Yeah.
Dawson gets a scholarship and goes to Tennessee. How do you feel?
I'm cheering for them every game, except for when they play Kentucky. And then I hope he gets 49.
All right, Ramon, your daughter goes to Tennessee, which, by the way, for her is a prestigious program, like a massively prestigious program.
I'm going to keep it all the way 100, man. My daughter goes to Tennessee. I'm going to be the biggest Tennessee fan.
Okay. I mean, look.
Biggest Tennessee fan
because it's
my daughter goes there. And,
it's your kids, right? You've got to.
Yeah, it's my kid. It's my daughter, yeah. As soon as she graduates, it's over.
Here's my thing, though. And I have oftentimes said this. My kid is one thing. Like if my kid decides to go there, obviously I'm going to support my kid, right? But now, if like my parents decide to coach there, I still don't. It don't matter. I don't care if my mom is coaching at Tennessee. I'm gonna say, Mom, you had a choice. You had a choice not to coach there, and you did. So you went to my arch enemy. So just know, I mean, I wish you a ton of success, but not really. So, is
Hey,
anybody?
listen, we need to go ahead and start petitioning now.
Yeah.
We need to start petitioning now, man. My daughter, she's falling in love with the coach at South Carolina. She's falling in love with her. I asked her if she wanted to go to Kentucky. She was like, "Yeah, I'll see, Daddy. If they recruit me, I will see. Well, Daddy, we'll see," is what she told me. So,
well, I tell you what we
5'10",
need.
8th grader.
Well, what we need to do is we need to get Kyra Elsie on the show, and then bring her on the show, and then just connect them. I mean, that we can make that happen. You know, like
get her to fall in love early, man. She played a crazy prank on me the other day. She called me before her 8th grade season started. She was like, "Daddy, guess what? Daddy, guess what?" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Guess what number I got this year?" I was like, "What? You got 22?" I was like all excited, yelling on the phone. She goes, "Dad, I was just playing. It's only my practice number. I'm still wearing 24."
Had that all excited,
got you,
man. Got him.
Had me all excited. And then she was like, "Daddy, give it up. I'm not wearing 22." So I said, "All right.
At least it's a practice number. Hey, you take that.
24. So why 24?
Hey, listen, loves it, fell in love with it. I mean, there's something about the numbers together that she just loves 2 and the 4 together.
All right. I figured it might be Kobe. You know, I figured that might be the answer there.
No, I think she knows about Kobe, but I don't think it was because of Kobe. I think well, she told me that 22 is not an available number, but she just likes 24.
I wore 24 in middle school. I really like that number.
Okay.
Yep.
Well. Basketball looking good. You know, I can just tell you, these guys are going to be ready. They're going to be ready. This team's going to be good.
I'm excited, man. They got all the pieces, man. I saw a picture the other day that Kentucky basketball put out. Oscar Tshiebwe, Jacob Toppin, and Xavier Wheeler. And I was just looking at the picture of those 3 guys, and it was talking about, you know, being ranked to start the season and all that, where they were at. And I was like, dude, I was sitting there looking at that picture, Ramon. I was like, those 3 guys right there, man, those are some good 3 guys to start with. And then you look at all the talent that's around them. You look at the experience those guys have got, and then the talent around them. Man, I mean, there's not much that we should be missing this year.
No.
Yeah,
not at all.
It reminds me of the championship team. They had some veterans that been through some stuff mixed with some great young talent, and they pulled that together. I think this is the first time in a while that we had a team like that, where we had veteran leadership and guys who played and been through stuff, and some young, hungry talent. So I'm very excited to see what this team is going to do this year.
Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break here in just a few. But when we return, we got a lot more coming your way. We're going to talk a little more football. I want to really, I'm going to ask you, Tim, what Kentucky has to do to beat Tennessee. So you've got to have a game plan right now. You are the coach. You are Mark Stoops. What are you doing to beat Tennessee this week? When we return, well, I'll have that. That'll be what it is. You are listening to Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily. We'll be right back.
If you've been injured in an accident through no fault of your own, you have options. Don't let insurance companies tell you what your case is worth. Call me, Jeremy Bryant, at 606-261-7381. At Bryant Law, we want you to get the highest possible recovery for your injuries. We can help you with your car wreck, slip and fall, or workers' compensation case. No one should have to withstand the pain, suffering, and inconvenience of a debilitating injury without just compensation. Bryant, come see Kentucky Creative Bistro and Gallery at South Park Center in Corbin. We are an art gallery and bistro serving a variety of sandwiches, cakes, and coffees. We cater to offices, large groups, and deliver to the local area. If you dine in, you'll experience the vast talent that Kentucky has to offer. Our selections for sale include paintings, photography, and crafts. If you are a Kentucky artist wanting to get your work out to the world, contact us today. We are also now seeking writers for our new endeavor, Kentucky Creative Press.
We the people are guaranteed 5 freedoms in the First Amendment.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of religion.
Freedom of the press.
Freedom to peaceably assemble.
Freedom to petition the government.
Only the United States has these 5 freedoms so simply bound together and guaranteed. Think first. Learn more at thinkfirstamendment.org.
Kentucky's new 5-star school rating system provides parents with an easy way to find out how their children's schools are performing. Star ratings are based on test scores for reading, math, social studies, science, and writing. They are also based on students' academic growth over 1 year. For high schools, ratings are also based on how well students are prepared for college and careers after graduation and the number of students who graduate on time. Visit kyschoolreportcard.com for the latest information on schools in your community.
The deadly tornadoes that ripped through western and south central Kentucky destroyed homes, devastated communities, and unfortunately claimed the lives of our fellow Kentuckians. Radio and television stations across the Commonwealth have united as one voice in order to help. Please consider supporting the Team Western Kentucky Relief Fund today. Simply go to kba.org and click the Donate Now button. This message of hope is brought to you by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 110,000 participants here in Kentucky who take part in high school sports.
Welcome back into Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily, and we are again joined by the other co-host of the show, Ramon Harris, so final segment here. Want to talk really quick. Tim, you have the floor. Coach, big game this week. Tennessee ranked top 5 in the country. You're going into their house, 110,000 people. How are we going to knock off the dirty orange?
Do you want me to answer that as I would with media as the coach, or do you want me to just answer it as how I would answer it with buddies?
Give me both.
All right. If I'm talking to the media and I get asked that question, I'm like, well, you know what? Tennessee's a really great team. It's going to be a really good challenge for us. I mean, they're playing really good football right now. They got one of the best offenses, if not the best offense in the nation. So we've got to play a near perfect game. We got to go down there and not make no mistakes, not get any penalties. We got to take care of the ball. We got to win the field position battle. We got to just take it one play at a time.
All right, now what's the buddy answer? That's also G-rated because we're on radio.
Yeah, the buddy answer is I don't know how to do buddy rated, G-rated. All right, so we're going to have to muddy this game up and keep their offense off the field because we can't outscore them.
And you know what else? I'll add to that.
What?
We're going to have to keep Hendon Hooker on the grass.
Yes.
He's going to have to know what that grass tastes like and feels
we're
like.
We're going to put his belt in the dirt.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to say, though. We're going to have to muddy it up. We're going to have to muddy it up, slow the game down. We're going to have to run the ball, not make any turnovers. And you know what I'm thinking I would do if I was coach? I would, when they least expect it, I would throw Chris Rodriguez at the Wildcat and let him do that for a series or two.
Well, you know what? That gives me massive PTSD. Because we did that 3 straight times and lost the game when Lynn Bowden was running our offense, and it was the most.
Yeah, but do you remember when we did it with JoJo Kemp and we beat Tennessee?
I remember. I remember that. I do. I remember that. But I also do remember that when we did that 3 straight times and lost a ball game, and we were mad because Eddie Grant wouldn't call another play.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, we have the option to throw it now. We got Will Levis now. I mean, use him when we need to run the ball. If we're losing, we can't still keep running the Wildcat up the middle every time.
Well, that's the thing, though, man. The one thing I've learned, and I love this coaching staff, guys, but when they have a game plan, by Sunny, we're going right with it. Like it's happening. We're not doing anything else. This game plan is our game plan, and we are not going to deviate from that. No adjustment. So
wow,
yeah,
a little build up hostility.
Yeah, well,
I felt that one.
We shouldn't have lost to South Carolina and Ole Miss. We should be undefeated right now in the country. That's where we should be.
The Ole Miss game bothers me, but the South Carolina game it really
irritates
makes me mad.
Real mad. No reason that should have happened.
No,
could have put you out there and won that game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on, hand the ball off.
Ramon, what do we got to do to beat Tennessee, Ramon?
Man, I agree. We got to make it ugly. We got to make his presence felt. We definitely can't. We can't let big plays happen. We can't let we can't let him get 6 catches and 5 touchdowns and 200 yards. We gotta make our presence known, and like I said, we gotta make it ugly on both sides of the football. We definitely gotta keep their football team, their offense off the field, and we just gotta make it ugly, man. If it takes us 4 minutes to get down the field to score a touchdown, it just takes us 4 minutes to get down the field and touchdown. We just gotta make it ugly, take their fans out the game, and we gotta make it physical.
I agree. We got to be physical. We got to want it more. No mistakes, and play that field position game. We have to have good punts. We got to defense has got to be that solid, bend but don't break. That we've got used to with Stoops.
Mm-hmm.
Can't give up those home run plays. We got to keep everything in front of them. Hope that Tennessee makes a mistake. Hope they try to run the ball more than they should, and we stop some runs.
Right.
And I think, Ramon, it's going to take a perfect play called game to win. We got to know when to run and when to pass. We got to make the perfect play called game.
Yeah, I agree, guys. Well, yeah, I agree. So, guys, what is going on?
Hey, Nick Jamerson's got some merchandise
he's
out
got
there.
Merch.
I'm getting ready to break the bank.
We're getting ready to go
it's
into
that.
That.
It's payday. Yeah. Well, I guess we're talking discount, Nick.
Yeah.
If you all are in the area, you need to get out here to
come on down here. We'll hang out with you too. Like,
yeah.
We'll hang out with you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're cool guys and all. And I am.
That'll get them here.
Y'all all right.
We're just all right to Ramon.
Ramon can hang out with us.
Nah, y'all good fellas, man. Y'all good people.
Thanks, man. But yeah, is the show about over? I gotta get there and buy some merch.
The show is about over. Ramon, again, the Laurel County History and Genealogy Center. I know you're going to be on the next flight to get down here and check this out.
Hey, man, I got to get back to the Bluegrass State, man. It's about that time. I'm overdue.
Yeah.
Awesome. And if you didn't hear it, Ramon, on our show before you came on, Google it, look it up, YouTube, whatever, the song Lexington by Nicholas Jamerson. He just performed it live on our show. And, hey, you lived in Lexington a while. I think you'll like it.
Yeah, I lived there long enough to adapt to the culture.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, listen, guys, that's it. My name's Adam.
My name's Tim.
And I'm Ramon.
And we are Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily. Y'all take care.